Hello, it's me, once again, using a team that I just recently saw in a James Beck video. In fact, that's the only place I've seen this particular team so far, although it must be making the rounds somewhere. But once again, he provided the paste, so we're just going to go ahead and use it. And this team uses Zebstrika, which is simultaneously one of my favorite Gen 5 Pokemon, and a Pokemon that I don't think about all that much, because it's not especially strong. There's not really been any game or competitive format that I know of where Zebstrika is a very noteworthy choice. I've certainly used it in Unova playthroughs, but it's not that strong, and it's not... Even though I think it's one of the best Gen 5 designs, it's not really one of the faces of the generation. But Gen 5 was the last one where the games came out in Japan months earlier than they did in North America. And I still remember scrolling through all the Pokemon information when the games were already out in Japan, clicking through the Bulbapedia pages of, over 150 new Pokemon that might not have even had official English names yet, and looking at the designs and saying, this one right here is my favorite. I'm not sure that really held up. I think it's probably been passed by Superior at some point, but one of my favorites in Gen 5 for sure. So anything that makes good use of it is definitely interesting to me. This one is, I think, mainly meant for Miraidon matchups, so Lightning Rod prevents Miraidon from throwing off Volt switches against what is otherwise a team without a super clear answer to it. But it also has, of course, speed control with Electro Web, as well as other support options in Eerie Impulse and Taunt. The Terra Normal, I think, it must be for Shadow Rider Calyrex stuff, which kind of makes sense. You could go Eerie Impulse or Electro Web into that to disrupt it. Then the restricted Pokemon on this team is Terra Water Zamazenta. This one doesn't have Protect and instead just goes for Iron Defense, Body Press, and Wide Guard in the same set, which, all the more reason it makes sense that it would need support against Miraidon, especially with the Water Terra type to cover its weaknesses. The Cresselia here is a fast one. It can heal Zamazenta with Lunar Blessing, or trick the opponent with Ally Switch, and then it also has support, speed control support and Icy Wind, and again the Terra Normal. Terra Stellar Chien-Pao, since Zebstrika has the Focus Sash, Chien-Pao is a Life Orb and can do a lot of damage into various threats, as well as boosting Zamazenta's offense. And then, yeah, you got the support from the Volcarona. Actually, this, I don't know why I said support, this is a Quiver Dance Volcarona, but it pairs nicely with Zamazenta, and I've watched the James Beck video, but I'm not sure I remember what the Mirror Herb is for. Maybe we'll figure it out. And then Walking Wake, rounding out the team's coverage. Bear Fairy, carrying Snarl. Could be interesting to bring into a Sun or Rain matchup for sure. But even though I've watched the video, the James Beck video already, I'm not sure that I know how to use this team. I feel like I say that every time. Also, I feel like my track record as a Zamazenta player is pretty bad. In fact, I got very frustrated in my NAIC prep because I was struggling to make any Zamazenta team work, even though it felt like a very good restricted Pokemon. But we'll see how it goes. Automatically start timer is what I'm looking for. This again is a best of one ladder team, so I'm not super inclined to accept open team sheets, but I probably will if my opponent does first, just as a courtesy to them. I'm fighting Bob Levray here. The real Bob. I guess Zebstrika is good into electric types generally, so it's interesting against the Raging Bolt. It doesn't have to be Miraidon that we face, but I feel like I'm zoning out. What is my opponent's team? Zacian, Incineroar, probably Rapid Striker, Shifu, Amoonguss. Yeah, I don't know how to play this with this team. I think Zebstrika is interesting here. And also, I just want to bring Zebstrika. Do I bring Walking Wake to this? It doesn't feel like the worst idea. I think I'd bring Volcarona into a Zacian team for sure. And then Terra Grass could be helpful against the Urshifu. What if I lead Zebstrika, Volcarona, bring Zamazenta in the back, and I actually think I probably bring either Cresselia or Chien-Pao to help cover for the Amoonguss. Let's try Cresselia. I don't know. I think I kind of like that, because I think I can even try to set up Volcarona here, although Fake Out is an issue. And then I have bulky Zamazenta with healing support in the back. I think that could be a strong mode. Let's just go right for... Actually, let's try to taunt the Incineroar. I was going to say Eerie Impulse into Raging Bolt, but I think I like denying Parting Shot if I can. This is, all, of course, assuming that they'll probably fake out Volcarona, so I'll protect Volcarona as well. They actually go for fake out into Zebstrika. Are they going to Draco Meteor to get rid of it? No, they didn't know about the Lightning Rod. Okay. Alright. I'll try again to taunt the Incineroar. I still think that play makes sense. And I'll just go for a Quiver Dance here. I mean, they can get a big Draco Meteor into something, maybe even knock out Zebstrika. They actually go for Volcarona and miss. But they knock off Zebstrika's Focus Sash, so Zebstrika can't hang around much longer. I do think it's worth it still to go for an Eerie Impulse into the Raging Bolt. I don't think I need to worry about switching and preserving Zebstrika here, and maybe it's greedy, but I think I'm down to try for another Quiver Dance. I guess they can knock Volcarona off. Or they have Snarl, and they have Knockoff. Alright, that's not great. Don't love that. But... Let's switch to Cresselia here? No. Maybe? Let Eerie Impulse the Raging Bolt again. Really try to not let it do damage. I'd like to go for a Giga Drain into something, but... Well, they both resist they resist both of Volcarona's attacks, so honestly I might as well Giga Drain the Incineroar. It doesn't really give much recovery, though. And I guess this was the downside of trying to set up on these two Pokemon. Well, okay, I didn't know they had the Snarl. Not that it's a super unusual move on Raging Bolt, but... Also... yeah, what damage am I doing after? I think the play here... I think what I'm going to do here is Electro Web. Try to make sure Cresselia is faster than these guys. Protect Volcarona. And then sack Zebstrika, get Cresselia in, and then I can heal Volcarona. They go for Thunderbolt. I guess they were expecting me to switch, but that actually just completely messed up the play that I was trying to make. I thought they would Snarl, and... I guess that still wouldn't knock out Zebstrika necessarily. So that wasn't the right play. Might as well Electro Web anyway, it's doing non-zero damage. They just knock out Volcarona here if I don't switch it out, but... I don't think I switch it out. I think I just go for what damage I can with Heat Wave. That's not very much damage. Okay, and then this mode was a bust, but maybe I can get Zamazenta in to do some proper damage now. One of my Pokemon is surviving this turn. It's Zebstrika. Just get Zamazenta in. They can switch the Raging Bolt out and reset all the stat drops. They can also do that with Incineroar. But I'm just going to Electro Web. Maybe I catch something interesting on the switch. And Body Press into the Incineroar slot. They switch to Urshifu. We get that on the switch. That's not bad. Get rid of Incineroar. Can this still be salvaged? I mean, the Urshifu could probably Aqua Jet into Zebstrika if it wants, but there are a lot of reasons it might not want to do that. I still don't see a world where I switch Zebstrika out. I think I just try to disrupt things with it until it drops, so... Although eventually that allows the Raging Bolt back in with Thunderbolt. But I think we just live with that. I probably don't have to Terrastallize Zamazenta. Actually, I'm about to take some fighting attacks. But, well, we'll try our best here. I'm going to go for an Iron Defense. They do just Aqua Jet the Zebstrika, but... If they're Scarfed, they're now locked into Aqua Jet, so I think they're probably not Scarfed. But they missed the chance to get some damage onto Zamazenta. So that's something. Zacian went for Play Rough and not Sacred Sword. Interesting. I think I'm going to go for Psychic into Urshifu. I don't think I need to heal just yet. I'll go for Body Press into Zacian. They actually swapped Urshifu out for Raging Bolt. Makes sense. Swords Dance Zacian. For a second I thought I was in danger, but that actually just dropped. I could still be in danger. I definitely could still be in danger. It's AV Raging Bolt, right? If it's carrying Snarl like that. What attack does it go for here? Probably just Thunderbolt. I'm going to try to Psychic the Urshifu again. and body press the Raging Bolt and hope that I'm not opening myself up to too much damage here. The game ended, so I don't think I am. No, we just KO their stuff. Okay, so the first mode was a total bust, but the rest of the team was strong anyway. That's a mixed bag as a showcase of my play, but I think a pretty solid showcase of the team. Bounced back nicely there. My opponent just couldn't handle all the threats. This person has a Miraidon. In fact, it's... well, the first 4 Pokemon are from the stock Miraidon team, but then they have Okidogi and Entei. Instead of what? Where you'd often expect to see Blood Moon or Ursaluna and... why am I drawing a blank? I know this team. Blood Moon, Ursaluna, and Incineroar. Interesting. More offensive fire type. And then, I don't know what they're cooking with the Okidogi. Maybe this is a known team. I haven't kept up as closely with the meta since NAIC. But anyway, we certainly bring Zebstrika. I don't think we have to lead with it, though. Kind of like lead Chien-Pao. Maybe I don't. My opponent has a lot of threats into it. Whimsicott probably has Moonblast. They got Rock, Ivy, Cudgel, Sacred Fire, and Extreme Speed. And of course, it's not Focus Sash Chien-Pao. So maybe I don't like that. Do I lead Zamazenta Cresselia? That doesn't seem too bad. The Entei is a threat, though. The Entei is actually a giant threat to my whole team, isn't it? Which makes me want to bring Walking Wake. So what if I lead Walking Wake, Zamazenta, Cresselia, and Zebstrika in the back? It doesn't feel great, but we'll see. They lead Whimsicott, Okidogi. Of course, one problem with just leading Walking Wake like this, I didn't want to have to try to switch it in if I saw the Entei, but it does mean that if I switch it out now, I throw away the Photosynthesis boost. But I feel like I can pretty safely just try to get rid of the Whimsicott this turn. It'll get a Tailwind up, but then if I knock it out, it won't do anything else. So yeah, if I just Hydro Steam into it, because that's my most consistent attack with Walking Wake, and then Heavy Slam, I break a Focus Sash and knock it out. They just go right for Drain Punch into Zamazenta, but that does a lot of damage with a crit. That's not good. Okay, here's the Miraidon. Well, here's the other cool thing about a Miraidon team. If I Terra Fairy Walking Wake and switch to Zebstrika, the Miraidon can't do damage to Walking Wake. On the other hand, I open up a Poison weakness against Okidogi. But I don't think that's the end of the world. I don't think they click Gunk Shot this turn. And Gunk Shot can miss. I think I'm down to just go for it. And I might even Draco Meteor the Okidogi instead of the Miraidon, because Okidogi seems like the greater long-term threat. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to Draco Meteor Terra Fairy, Draco Meteor Okidogi, and switch to Zebstrika. And hopefully I can get Zamazenta in next to Cresselia later if I need it. So the Lightning Rod here even blocks a Volt Switch. They don't even get off the field. Oh, of course, it's AV Okidogi. I was better off just attacking the Miraidon, huh? Have they used their Terra yet? Yes, they've gone Terra Electric on Miraidon. So what I can do is switch to Cresselia. And then I can threaten Psychic into Okidogi. I didn't really think that possibility through up until now. I also now know that the Okidogi won't use... well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's an AV set, so it won't use Bulk Up. I've been kind of worried about it setting up until now, but it's not going to do that. I don't have a great Zebstrika action here, but I think Eerie Impulse into Miraidon is okay, except that they swapped out to Entei. But what can you do? And I lose Zebstrika here, so I kind of burned my anti-Miraidon tech. Zamazenta is in a really bad spot against these guys. I guess I'll go Walking Wake, but I kind of feel like I've not positioned right in this game. I'm going to go for Psychic into Okidogi, even though it's very obvious they probably switch out. I feel like I just need something like that to come through right now, and I'll double target with Hydro Steam as well. They have Crunch on the Entei. They knock out Cresselia before it can even attack, and I think that this one is not going our way, folks. I don't think we win this one. I guess I'll go down fighting. What do I even body press here? I mean, I can Heavy Slam the Okidogi. Actually, that does more damage than I expected. Okie dokie must not be very heavy. Try to get rid of it. It can heal with Drain Punch, of course. Well, the Zamazenta is low. It won't heal too much. Alright, let's try to knock out the Okie dokie, but yeah, then we drop 2. Actually, their electric terrain goes down here, unless they have a terrain extender, which they don't. Let's just Hydro Steam into the Miraidon and still drop to Electro Drift. Alright. That's okay. What's next? Another Miraidon team. Very different from the last one. Well, still having some of the same recognizable structure. Okay. We always bring Zebstrika to these, I think, although they have 2 ground types. Although 2 ground types that don't like taking Eerie Impulse, I would think. I think we always bring Zebstrika. I do like Chien-Pao in this one. Chien-Pao seems way better in this matchup than it did in the last one. What if I just lead Chien-Pao Zamazenta, bring Zebstrika, and Cresselia? Icy Wind isn't bad here. Lunar Blessing is nice. Am I properly covering for... My opponent, like, almost exclusively has special attackers. Am I properly covering for those? Can I set up Volcarona in this matchup? Not really feeling like it. I think Volcarona probably gets overwhelmed in this matchup. I think there's a case for Walking Wake again. In fact, I'm going to do it. I'm going to bring Walking Wake instead of Cresselia. And if I'm wrong, I don't want to be right. Alright. How do we deal with these guys? I kind of want to protect Chien-Pao. I don't want to do that. Because I think the Landorus terrestrializes or switches out. And I think I can just Terra Water Body Press the Chi-Yu right away, and that gives me some momentum. Okay, I guessed wrong about the Landorus, and I think... Oh, I do still get away with the Zamazenta play there. I was definitely starting to worry that they just knocked my Zamazenta out. That's a lot of damage on my restricted Pokemon, but I do put some pressure on the opponent's team. And here... What if I Ice Spinner into Miraidon and switch to Zebstrika, switching Zamazenta out? How do we feel about that play? There finally is the Terra on the Landorus. We block another Volt Switch. That at least has been fun, this video. And so is getting rid of their terrain and their restricted Pokemon just like that. That's pretty good, and they forfeit. After missing Sandsear Storm on Chien-Pao. And they're down to 2 ground types. Well, no, a ground type and a steel type. Alright, that was more like it. Let's keep going. We got 2 Miraidon teams in the first 3 battles. Alright, this is a Nightmare Ice Rider Calyrex team. I don't know the matchup, I'm just calling it a nightmare because I know these teams are very good. Having used 1 or 2 of them on the channel. Washed up Trick Room player, that's kind of funny. I'm so used to the mindset of that NAIC, that Ridge Drago team that I used at NAIC, where you see opposing Trick Room like this and you just try to overwhelm it and not let them set it up. I don't know that this team can do that. Also, why are there 2 spectators? Am I playing someone noteworthy? I have no idea. What do I do here? I feel like Zebstrika can probably sit on the bench for this one. I think, like, Cresselia Zamazenta is reasonable, or Chien-Pao. Let's do Chien-Pao Zamazenta. Bring Cresselia. I see a case for Volcarona, but I think I'd rather bring Walking Lake. By the way, I talked up Zebstrika as one of my favorite Gen 5 Pokemon designs. Probably my second favorite after Superior. I'm pretty sure Walking Wake is my my favorite Gen 9 design. So, the person who made this team, I think it's a former world champion from Japan. Has good taste, for sure, in Pokemon. Okay. Well, this is... I don't hate this lead matchup, but the Care Bear is a threat, for sure. Is it worth switching to Cresselia? I don't think it is. I think I need to get off an Ice Spinner to clear the terrain and do big damage into something. I'll try to target the Care Bear. Well, I mean, the thing is my opponent has two plays here. They can follow me attack or they can protect Trick Room. So targeting the Care Bear could be a mistake. But I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm just gonna send it. Double target the Care Bear. Okay. And it worked out. They didn't do either of the plays I said. They didn't do Follow Me, Trick Room, or they didn't do Attack, Follow Me, or Protect, Trick Room. They must have done Attack, Trick Room. Maybe trying to set up a Throat Spray. But they must have had safer plays than that. Here's the Pelipper. Psychic Terrain is no longer up. I can Terra Water, Sucker Punch Pelipper, Terra Water on Zamazenta to deal with a possible Weather Ball, Sucker Punch Pelipper, and like Heavy Slam and DD. Yeah, Sucker Punch doesn't quite KO, but it does a lot. You lose Chen Pao, but it put in a lot of work already. They actually go for Hurricane and not Weather Ball, so the Terra didn't help me there, but now I got Cresselia in. Of course, the Trick Room is still up, and this is fast Cresselia. And I don't have Protect on Zamazenta. For a second there, I thought, I'll Protect Zamazenta. Now I remember that I don't have that. I kind of want to heal Zamazenta. I kind of want to also just knock out the Pelipper. And I also kind of want to set up an Iron Defense. I think the safest play might be heal and body press into Pelipper. Oh. Maybe that wasn't that safe. I think Zamazenta takes another Glacial... Oh, well, after healing, it certainly takes another Glacial Lance. And I think here I just kill a turn of Trick Room by clicking Lunar Blessing and Wide Guard. Yeah, perfect. Just pure healing on this turn. And they forfeit. Okay, so I don't have to think about whether to make that play again. Cool. And of course, if I stalled out the Trick Room, which I was about to do, then I get Walking Wake in. I can threaten a Draco Meteor, even if they knock out one of my other guys. This, I believe, is the first Shadow Rider Calyrex of the video. Pretty standard Shadow Rider Calyrex balance. Do I bring Zebstrika to these? It must be Terra Normal for a reason. Of course, it's also Terra Normal Cresselia. I kind of like Chen Pao Zamazenta lead. The Incineroar is an issue, though. The Incineroar is a big issue. How do I deal with the Incineroar? I don't think I want to... I'm not eager to bring Walking Wake to this matchup. It doesn't really cover anything except the Incineroar, does it? Let's try Chen Pao Zamazenta. Bring... Cresselia? Maybe? Or Zebstrika? Or both. Volcarona is probably good against some of these Pokemon, but no, I'll bring both. I can Terra Normal whoever I want. Okay. I kind of want to protect Chen Pao and Wide Guard. Might be a little bit of a weird play, but I don't want Chen Pao to take a Fake Out. And I don't want anything to take an Astral Barrage. So it feels like kind of silly, redundant defensive play, but I think it's the move here. They set up a nasty plot. That's unfortunate. I could have covered for something. Okay, Sucker Punch or Crunch into the Calyrex. I think Crunch. I'm not that confident that it's going to use an attack. And I think I wide guard again. Cover for an Astral Barrage. This does leave me vulnerable to Parting Shot, to... Actually, Parting Shot's not that bad. Will-O-Wisp from the Incineroar would be a problem for sure. Okay, they protect the Calyrex. And there's the Parting Shot. And there's the Clefairy. How do I deal with this? Maybe I don't at this point. Okay, I think I have to reset here. I think I need to switch Chien-Pao out and get... probably... well, get one of my other Pokemon in safely. So I wide guard with Zamazenta again. Do I switch to Cresselia or Zebstrika? Zebstrika could taunt the Clefairy. Cresselia, of course, keeps Zamazenta healthy, but I need Zamazenta doing damage then. I'll switch to Zebstrika. This is a pretty delicate situation. This early game has not gone well for me, and I think it might be hard to recover from. They're going for Astral Barrage, though, even as I keep spamming Wide Guard. I can taunt the Clefairy now. They might protect it, but... certainly we try this here. Don't need to Terra Normal right now while I'm spamming Wide Guard, but I need to get damage somehow, soon. Actually, maybe taunting the Clefairy isn't worth it. Maybe I need to just be clicking Electro Web. Do I Electro Web or do I Eerie Impulse? It has 2 nasty plots up already. I need to start attacking. I think I... No, I also need speed drops. So them getting their Tailwind up is the last thing I need right now. Okay, plus 4 Psyshock. Does a lot of damage. It doesn't KO, but it's Covert Cloak Calyrex. Covert Cloak Calyrex. Yeah, I might just lose to this. I'll try an Eerie Impulse. I think that should still work. It's not a secondary effect. And I'm just gonna Heavy Slam the Calyrex slot. Yeah, okay, they taunt Zamazenta. I don't know why they didn't go for Astral Barrage there. They had me. Or does Wide Guard go before Prankster Taunt? The Heavy Slam is not doing that much. They can taunt Zebstrika here, so I think I have to go for another Electro Web instead of another Eerie Impulse. But they don't taunt me. This person's getting... this person's reading me too well. Well, okay, yeah, this looks pretty doomed, but we'll go down fighting again. We'll Terra Normal Cresselia, and we'll double target the Clefairy. Actually, I should probably have just double targeted Calyrex to keep them honest. Yeah, now they get the Helping Hand. That was a rookie move on my part. I should have targeted the Calyrex instead of the Clefairy. You know, if they're gonna follow me, I should make them actually do it. They're just gonna knock me out with Psyshock here? Yeah. Okay. Well. Oh! Yeah, that opponent was a bit higher rated than me. Can you see it? Okay, no. They were 1577, now 1593, so they're more than 100 points higher rated than me. I don't know if they're a big name or anything, but maybe people were joining just because they're a higher ladder player actually playing right now. Kind of looks like the best of one ladder is not super active at the moment. But yeah, sometimes you just run into a better player. Here's our, what, 3rd Miraidon team of the video. And again, a different twist on the structure with Fluttermane Chiyu stuff. Really sending me back to Reg C. I've been liking the Chien-Pao Zamazenta lead. Let's just keep it going and bring Zebstrika and Walking Wake. I don't know. Cresselia might be the call into the Iron Hands, but probably AV Iron Hands, isn't it? Okay. How about switch to Zebstrika, Terra Water, Body Press Chi-Yu. Hopefully we get a KO. Hopefully we block another Volt Switch. That's always fun. Might even avoid taking any significant damage this turn. Ooh, just go right for the Overheat, and it crits, so it does a lot of damage, but yeah, we do block another Volt Switch every time. And the Chi-Yu wasn't sashed or anything, so it's gone. They went Flutter Mane immediately. I guess I'll try an Electro Web. Probably switch Miraidon out, right? I think it's probably Specs Miraidon, or I think some people are running Scarf now. But I think it's probably choiced, is my point. Just Heavy Slam the Flutter Mane slot. Yeah, they bring in Iron Hands. Moonblast does good chip to Zamazenta, but doesn't KO. But I think Zamazenta might be at about its limit here, so how do I win this from here? I feel like Electro Web is not that important at this point. Well, unless it's Scarf Miraidon. Because I think Scarf Miraidon will be faster than my Walking Wake, right? Let's try one more Electro Web. And I'll go for a Body Press into Miraidon in case they let me knock it out. They fake out Zamazenta. Draco Meteor Zebstrika. So both of my Pokemon survive this turn. Do we KO the Miraidon? Nope, we flinched. I forgot. Alright, but... I'm actually going to go for another Electro Web. And try to make sure that I get a Body Press off into Miraidon before Zamazenta goes down. Doesn't quite KO. That Miraidon is very weakened now. And okay, it's 2-on-2. I get Chien-Pao and Walking Wake. I'll Ice Spinner into Iron Hands. And Hydro Steam into Miraidon. Just try to get consistent attacks off. Knock the Miraidon out. Do good damage to Iron Hands. It can Drain Punch, though, into my Chien-Pao now. So it's Walking Wake versus Iron Hands. I don't know my calcs. I'm going to go for Hydro Steam instead of risking a Draco for now. If you're yelling at your monitor because you know better than me, oops. Ah, the Drain Punch does too much. I probably need a Draco Meteor crit to win, don't I? So we'll send it. Alright, one more chance. Draco Meteor crit? Nope. Well, we tried. Alright, well, definitely a fun team. I don't know that Zebstrika held up super well for me as an anti-Miraidon tech, but hey, in the hands of a better player, I can see the vision for sure. I also kind of tunnel visioned into the Chien-Pao Zamazenta stuff there, and I was bringing the Walking Wake to probably more games than intended. I tried the Volcarona in one game and it got shut down, and I never really brought it again. And it would have been better in it certainly would have been better in an endgame like this, resisting Drain Punch and potentially burning the Iron Hands with Flame Body. I think Volcarona wins, where Walking Wake lost here. So that's something to keep in mind. I don't think I ever made the best use of the Cresselia either, although it did sit on the field and shut an opponent's game plan down at least once. But yeah, definitely I only scratched the surface of what this team can do. So give it a try if you want. I can't put links in my description, but I've shown it in the builder already, and you can just get the paste from James Beck's video. And that's it. See you next time.